One of the things I've been interested in observing in the last few years is the fact that many adults, many parents have difficulty really seeing their child directly, seeing them in play, seeing them in their natural state, in the way that they are relating to the world. And speculating about that for some time, it seemed to me that one of the reasons that was so difficult for us to see anymore and to observe in children is that we've carried a sense of responsibility for their development, which may be beyond the real task that the parents have, or teachers have, or therapists have. And as a consequence, we blind ourselves to the natural energies and the natural development of the child. And instead of supporting, therefore, those natural qualities which are growing and developing spontaneously in the child, and allowing for opportunities and environments which create the spontaneous development of the child in terms of his true nature, we frequently get concerned about doing it right for the child, creating exactly the right environment, making it perfect, providing environments which make the child happy. And so often those are notions that are in the collective and in our own lives that cause some tension in relationship to the actual observation of how the child himself wants to be and to grow and to develop. As a consequence of that question I had in my mind about why it was that it was so hard for parents to see that, I have done an experiment with adults over the last few years, and that is to ask them to remember a memory that they had that was pleasant in their childhood. And to my great amazement, after having done this now with some hundreds of parents, the memories of the natural state are very common, and they have some universal qualities to them. And it seems to me that in us all is a memory of that natural state, because the quality of those descriptions has such joy in it usually. And the elements of the joy have to do with some very simple facts. One is that the child is frequently alone, enjoying himself in relationship to exploring the world. And that has been one very strong quality for me when I think about the fact that we spend so much time being frightened of being alone in our culture. And we very often will force a child into group activities. If he's not sitting on the rug with the other children, we'll get them to sit on the rug. The quiet times, the alone times, seem to be negated for children, and consequently very often for us as adults, to really honor those times of being alone and the exploration of life alone. So when these memories come back of a childhood time when we're alone exploring a part of the backyard or the creek or wandering down the street to see who lives around the corner, but that sense of adventure and exploration in the alone state seems to tell me something very important about one quality of the natural child. Another common memory is of being in nature. Some relationship to animals, some relationship to plants, water, the sky. And when you think of all the possibilities of thinking of a pleasant time, you might think it might be going to the ice cream store for chocolate ice cream cone. That rarely comes up. More frequently it is in some very magnificent relationship to the smells and the sounds and the qualities of nature. Generally with all senses go. Tremendous memory, the smells, the tastes, the sounds. And to me that says something very important, that aliveness belongs to us, and we remember it somewhere in ourselves. And it's a quality of childhood that carries in its spontaneous relationship to nature. And in addition to the relation to the ordinary sensate relationship to nature, there's almost a sense frequently described of being in tremendous union with nature. Getting down in the grass and looking around and seeing a grasshopper and following the grasshopper and almost becoming the grasshopper as the child wanders around. Having heard adult descriptions of that, I spent some time kind of taking the veils off my own eyes and watching children and seeing them in the same way. And if you really take time to observe them, you see them exploring life in exactly that way. A sense of learning what this planet's about, learning what their relationship is to it, with a tremendous curiosity and a tremendous focus. We're apt to think the children aren't focused very often. But when you really watch them, particularly in that first year of life, when they're beginning to crawl and explore and taste and touch, feel, there's a tremendous intensity in that, if given the opportunity to wander around and explore. Because I feel that one of the strongest natural qualities of the child is that sense of exploration. They spontaneously will want to see what this new land is that they have come into. And if that tremendous intensity, that tremendous curiosity and tremendous involvement of all the senses can be observed, I have a feeling that we have a possibility of beginning to create environments in which those qualities can continue, not only in the child and the development of the child, but also in the adult. Again, that sense of curiosity, that sense of intense focus on what is there, and the sense of exploration and knowledge through the exploration, knowledge through the direct contact. It's a very different experience to see a child go after a butterfly and really look at it, see it, try to chase it, or to pick a flower and smell it and maybe even tear it apart very little to see what it's like. That intensity against the intensity or the lack of intensity one often sees in the classroom when one is reading a biology textbook. That sense of the directness of the experience of life feels to me to be one of the prime qualities of the natural sense which a child has in relationship to being on this planet.